The Arizona Supreme Court ruled that prosecutors can enforce a anti-abortion law dating to 1864. It is a complete ban on nearly all abortions. It can only be performed to save the life of the mother. There's no exemptions for rape or incest. The ruling comes a day after Donald Trump laid out his own position on abortion. He did not endorse a national ban on abortion and said it should be up to the states.
The states will determine by vote or legislation or perhaps both, and whatever they decide must be the law of the land. In this case, the law of the state.
This is a major swing state saying abortion is nearly totally illegal. It comes in an election year when this state will be crucial to deciding the presidency and control of the Senate. Democrats have been all over it. They are pointing to the ruling and blaming Donald Trump for taking away access to abortion for Arizona women. Trump appointed 3 Supreme Court justices. He remade the court during his tenure, moved it decisively to the right, and paved the way for the Dobbs decision in 2022 that ended the constitutional national right to an abortion.
What's going on, everyone? Sauce Kenny here today. I want to kind of talk about this. Abortion's back in the news again. And to me, this is because the Democrats know this is the only issue really that they could, objectively, without shame, advocate for. Now, Trump's getting a lot of criticism right now. Biden's like, hey, I have 2 words for you. For people who are outraged about the whole abortion issue, just give me a sec to cue up the video. Biden has 2 words when pressed on how Americans should feel about the Arizona abortion law. President Joe Biden had a plentiful response to the NBC Peter Alexander asking about the Arizona's draconian abortion ban. Now, here's my problem with the draconian claim. In the intro, you saw this news reporter. He's a journalist, right? Fact-based journalism. But he said that abortion is a constitutional right. It's not. It's not a constitutional right. You don't have a constitutional right to validate the rights of another human being, regardless of how you perceive yourself to be. And this is my problem with the abortion debate. Like, we haven't even have it hashed out, but you want laws to allow it. And you see the focus of the argument is always about, well, they gave exceptions for the medical reasons, but for incest and rape, that's not the case. Even if Arizona left special provisions for incest, rape, and life of the mother, these people will still be complaining. Joe Biden will still campaign on that because it's not about medical reasons or incest or rape. It's about the ability to perform elected abortions. That's the majority of abortions. The majority of abortions are not due to medical reasons, are not due to incest and rape. It's due to a woman saying, hey, I don't want to be responsible for the child. And even if you saw some of the stills of those videos in the intro, you saw posters saying, I'm a woman, not a womb, parent by choice. AKA, hey, I want to be a parent by choice. But when you flip it around, you say, where's men's reproductive rights? They're silent. But the left always complaining about how the right hates women. No, the right's just equalizing everything. If men are not allowed to dictate whether they're fathers or parents by choice, neither should the parent. Neither should the mother. So here's a clip of what Joe Biden wants to kind of preach to you guys, and let's hear what he has to say. This is what happens when you don't use Twitter. So let's look into it.
Elect me. I'm in the 20th century.
The 20th century. Okay. Okay, Joe Biden. And they want to make this the central issue because end of the day, single women dominate or overwhelmingly support the Democratic Party. And I think this is their way to destroy abortion. Never want to go away. The Democrats are trying to use that to get young single women enthusiastic to come out. But I don't know if that's going to make the difference. But Trump is getting a lot of criticism from many pro-life advocates. Leah Rose, who I know she's a phenomenal, she's a big, strong advocate for, the pro-life position. I respect her a lot, but this is where, idealism meets reality or realism. Sorry. It was never about state rights. This is her claim. If you're saying that states went too far, more pro-abortion talking points today from Trump, deeply disappointing. She's disappointed that because end of the day, Trump's trying to win. Like I said in my previous video talking about Trump's federal abortion stance, that he don't believe it should be the law of the land. Just like we don't believe that this is what Roe v. Wade violated in the Constitution. It forced every state to have abortion. That's what Trump took away. So any reframing by the left trying to say, oh, this was Trump taking away abortion, we need to qualify. You're essentially saying that all states must be forced to have an abortion. And instead of Layla using this as an opportunity of pushing how extreme the left is on this issue, hey, you guys want abortion up until birth. Like, you guys believe in unrestricted abortion. How is that any different? Americans are more in the middle about this, and that's the reality. If you look at polls, the sentiments currently, and like I said in my earlier video about this abortion topic, politics is downstream of culture. If you have a culture where most people believe that abortion is necessary still, then you cannot pass laws against that culture, because then the culture will revolt and you'll get what we get now, where now the Democrats are trying to use that to shield them from their bad economic policies, their America Last agenda, allowing the open borders, not being tough on crime. People are all suffering. They're trying to make it all of us hone in on one issue, because I believe largely Democratic voters are one issue voters, in my view anyway. They don't weigh all the costs and all the benefits. And I think most people don't do that. There's one priority issue that people have. For a lot of single women, it seems to be abortion. They don't care if they got to go to work 3 jobs to make a living. They don't care if they're struggling in this economy. They don't care if inflation is 3.5%. They don't care if the debt ceiling is higher than average. As long as they get to kill their offspring, they're fine. And that kind of energy, we don't want them to be enthusiastic about it. And I think this is what Trump is trying to do. But instead of recognizing it, a lot of people are using this to take shots at Trump. Let's take a look at what Trump's response to the the Arizona abortion restriction, because it's not a ban.
Thank you, sir. Mr. President, did Arizona go too far?
Yeah, they did, and that'll be straightened out. And as you know, it's all about states' rights. That'll be straightened out. And I'm sure that the governor and everybody else are going to bring it back into reason, and that will be taken care of, I think, very quickly.
What do you think about Florida?
Florida's probably maybe going to change also. See, it's all of it's the will of the people. This is what I've been saying. It's a perfect system. So for 52 years, people have wanted to end Roe v. Wade to get it back to the states. We did that. It was an incredible thing, an incredible achievement. We did that, and now the states have it, and the states are putting out what they want. It's the will of the people. So Florida's probably going to change. Arizona's going to definitely change. Everybody wants that to happen. And you're getting the will of the people. It's been pretty amazing when you think.
Thank you, sir.
And this is the funny part, right? So she's getting some pushback, I guess, in the comment section. Most people still agree the right to life and equal protection of the law is already in the 14th Amendment. Constitutionally, this can't be solely a state by state issue. So people are trying to make an argument why federal government can dictate this. But end of the day, if the people do not want this, the people do not. Look, I'm being honest here. Like, end of the day, is the consent of the governed. If the governed said, hey, we want this, hey, you have to, you could try to make the argument, but end of the day, people won't vote for you, right? Don't let the perfect get in the way of the good. And this is what I'm trying to say. Like, now it's on Layla to make the argument. She has to change the culture so that way a politician can run on abortion ban. No politician right now in this current culture in 2024 can run on abortion bans. I'll listen to you once pro-lifers win an abortion referendum in a red state. So far, it's 0 for 4. 0 for 4. That's the record. Cry harder, you unappreciative grifter. AKA say, hey, look, all Trump did was, hey, government's the referee. We shouldn't require abortion across all states. Let the battleground of ideas decide this on a state-by-state issue. A nuanced approach. Let's remove this mandate, because that's what it was. Roe v. Wade was a mandate to have abortions across the state. The left don't see it that way. And instead of Layla, and this is my critique for Layla, instead of utilizing that and showcasing, hey, we just want a fair shot to argue our points. Look at the extremists on the left. Look at these people who want unrestricted abortions. They keep pushing the fact that, they want abortions for rape, incest, and life of the mother. But most abortions are due to healthy, viable babies. Nothing's wrong with them. It's just an elective choice. They just don't want to have the responsibility of being a mom. That's the majority of abortions. Instead of hitting at that to change the culture in America about abortion, she rather criticized Trump because he's not taking an authoritarian stance on a federal level. And I explained this in my video before. Like, Trump's a populist, and if you're a populist, you're adhered to the will of the people. If the will of the people says, hey, we're not for unrestricted abortion, but we're also not for a total abortion ban, as a politician, your hands are tied. Safe, legal, rare. That's the current position of the American populace. That's not Trump's fault. Layla can do more, can do better about it. Pro-life people can do more about it. And this is on us. That's what I'm saying. It's on us to make the argument. It's on social commentators to make the argument for why abortion is bad and convince the populace. Because in my view, the ideal government doesn't compel people to do something. You don't compel states to have mandatory abortions. You don't compel states to have abortion bans. The states themselves has to choose that for them. That was the same issue with slavery. That's why I said abortion and slavery have so many parallels to each other. It's not even funny. There are states arguing, hey, I bought these slaves with my own money. Is the government going to reimburse me for freeing the slaves against my will? This will cause the succession. This is why some people think that the the Civil War wasn't about slavery, but about state rights. State rights about what? Slavery. If a new civil war happened and people are going to say, oh, it was a states' rights issue, the government tried to force an abortion ban on the states. But abortion was the main cause of that, right? But they want to mask it. Oh, no, it was about state rights. Now that slavery is unfavorable. But this is literally, history don't repeat itself, but it sure as hell rhymes. Let's take a look at some of the arguments from social commentators, because I believe that abortion is an issue where you can't change it from a political point of view. It must be reaffirmed by the culture. Marriage was a religious institution. The only reason marriage became something that the government presided over is because America had a strong Christian culture, and the government was like, okay, let's reaffirm that. Here's a legal avenue to represent your marriage in the government. Same thing needs to happen with abortion. Abortion is more of a cultural issue than a political one. And when people try to use politics to change that sentiment, you're going to take L's. It's up to the social commentators to really persuade the populace on this issue. But right now, politically, you cannot run on abortion because Democrats will use it as a way to mask all their other failings. This is the only test that the Democrats have a competitive chance at with the Republicans, and they want to mask the other 9 tests they failed. The economic one, the social one, the crime one, the border one, the spending one. Look at all these issues that the Democrats are negative in and have a lower advantage on. But abortion, they know, because that's going to give enthusiasm for their base. And like they stated in the comment section, pro-lifers are 0 for 4 right now in red states trying to pass abortion bans in their own states. So in your own home court, you cannot get abortion banned in your state, but you want Trump to run on it as a national candidate for presidencies. Make it make sense. This is just a dream at this point. The difference between a vision and a dream is that you plan for it. How you plan for abortion to pass. I have more of I know women like to, make this sexist argument. Oh, men can't speak about abortion because it doesn't affect them. As a father of 2 kids that saw my sons from weeks old, moving, wiggling, dancing in my wife's womb, I know it's a life. But it seems like, many of the people who push these movements are women, and they don't seem to understand the how long it's really going to take to change people's minds about these issues. Because end of the day, I know I don't convince people. Look, all I can do is give them the information, give them the arguments, and say, hey, you make up your own mind about this. Hey, because at the end of the day, what I realize is people, their minds don't get changed by you telling them something. Their minds gets changed by digesting the information, and they change their own minds. That means I can't force people to change their mind. People have to come to their own conclusions about these things. All I can do is provide the information. All I can do is provide the outlook and say, hey, is this right? That you're saying that, Republicans shouldn't ban abortion because of rape, incest, and life of the mother. But most abortions aren't those 3 things that you push. So why are you leading with that and not trying to make the argument for why women should have elective abortions? Right? No one hits the pro-choicers like that. That's why I'm saying the pro-abortion argument stands. It's very flimsy. It's not standing on much. All it relies is on emotionalism to make its argument. self-interest of women to control their reproductive ability, right? Because if you get a pro-abortion woman pregnant and you happen to be Elon Musk or some rich dude, hell, she's pro-life that day. She's pro-life for that baby. But if she gets pregnant by a bum, she's pro-abortion for that baby. And that's the reality of the abortion stance. It's just so you want women to have more rights and privileges than every other person in America. That's it. Because it's hosted in her body. But you want the father to take liability regardless of what decisions you take. If the father wants to keep a baby, but you want to kill the baby's dead. If the father don't want the baby, but you want the baby's alive. So how is it that as a woman, you can make unilateral decisions on whether you become a parent or not for both partners, not just yourself, but also for the father? You're violating his rights. You're violating the child's rights because you can decide whether it gets to live or die. That's what I'm saying. It's a human rights issue. And this is not even a religious argument. This is why I laugh when the abortion people think that the only feasible argument for a pro-life position is through religion, when literally it's based on morality and a philosophical argument. Should one human have dominion and power over another? That's slavery. This is why I said abortion is like slavery. Every argument you make for abortion, you can make for slavery. But pro-abortion people want to act like that. There's no coherent argument for pro-life when their whole barometer is merely subjective, not based on any consistency or merit. What's the difference between 15 weeks and 9 months? Nothing. Democrats have shown no ability to express a limitation on abortion. It's just women do whatever you want with the baby. If the baby was just born 2 days after, you don't want to be a mom, you found out, I don't want to be a mom anymore. Okay, you can kill off the baby. What's to stop that? You haven't denounced that. Democrats haven't even expressed a view of a limited abortion. So don't be mad at conservatives when they assume that you want abortion until birth. And some Democrats actually stated that. I'm done rambling. Matt Walsh, it's always wrong to intentionally kill an innocent, defenseless human being. Unborn babies are human beings. They cannot possibly be any other species but humans. Therefore, abortion intentionally kills innocent, defenseless human beings. Therefore, abortion is wrong. This is the pro-life argument broken down as simply as possible. It's a very strong argument. In fact, no one on the pro-abortion side has ever been able to answer it. Instead, they change the subject or obsess over hard cases, aka making it about medical, incest, rape of the mother. But there's a comeback for that. If I agree on those three things, do you still believe in abortion restrictions only for those three things? We're only going to allow those three things. Should we? And then everything else is banned. Would you accept it? They'll still say no, which shows that they're being insincere when they try to make hard cases for incest, rape, and life of the mother. This is the argument, right? This is the problem that I have. At least the pro-life, they're consistent. Life at conception. All right, and because it's life at conception, okay, what if it comes up? What if it grows up in poverty? It doesn't matter. In human history, we had wars, we had famine, we had disease, and people were still having kids. Just because you don't grow up in an idealistic economic situation does not justify you allowing you to kill a kid for financial reasons. This is what I'm saying. The whole pro-abortion stance is based on the convenience for the mother. How convenient the baby is for the mom. Pregnant by a millionaire, convenient, keep it. Pregnant by a bum, one-night stand, not convenient, kill it. It comes off with the deformities, kill it. Oh, it has great genetics, keep it. We're literally making childbirth a commodity in this country, right? Another argument, and then I'll end off the video. Being pro-abortion should be as politically toxic as being pro-slavery. It should be impossible to get elected taking that barbaric position. The reasons Democrats take this position because they know it's popular with single women, right? And also they frame it in a way where they don't actually talk about the hard facts and reality of abortion. They talk more about this glamorized, you get to choose. It's like birth control. It's like contraceptive. This is how they kind of take the view of abortion, especially that the Democratic Party is overwhelmingly donated by Planned Parenthood, which is an institution that benefits from women having abortions, right? This is some of the things that no one wants to talk about. The Democrats are quick to call out, oh, Republicans are funded by the NRA, but they don't talk about how the Democrats are funded by Planned Parenthood, who was founded by a racist called Margaret Sanger, who wanted to euthanize a lot of people because they happened to be a certain race. He believed that certain groups of people were weeds in this country. She thought people were genetically inferior to her because of their skin color. And that's why abortion was made. That means right now what black women are doing, she's making the founder of, they making Margaret Sanger proud. The most aborted baby in America, a black one. Out of 1 million babies, 400,000 of them are black babies. You're doing the racist work. You're doing the KKK's work. A KKK would want the Democratic Party to win because, end of the day, it doesn't matter how you spin it. It doesn't matter how positively you talk about abortion. Oh, you're just controlling reproductive rights. The reality is, you're committing a genocide almost every year, and it's the mother of that child that's doing it. Imagine that. Imagine that. Why would a racist stop the Democratic Party? Why would a racist not want the Democratic Party to win and codify abortion when they know the trends disproportionately affects the black community, the black population? A lot of this Planned Parenthood stuff is in black areas, right? Because the left is quick to say, oh, anything that disproportionately affects black people is racist, but they never bring this up about abortion. This is why I said the black community, you need more black conservatives, because it broadens your perspective. Your government schools, 76% of kids are educated in public schools, Democrat controlled. Administration, Department of Education, Democrat operators, Democratic controlled. They're only going to spin a Democratic view. Your teachers, more likely to be Democrat. Every institution of education in college, 12-to-1 ratio favoring Democrat liberal professors. Throughout your entire education, black people, all groups of people are being fed a left-wing worldview on this issue, on most issues. And then when they hear the conservative side, they're shocked. They think we're lying. They think we're spreading misinformation. But then when you ask for evidence of how you're spreading misinformation, they're stuttering. This is why I said that the left don't like critically thinking people, because critically thinking people are skeptical people. They're questioning people. They're curious people. If it isn't, then we are failing in the fight for the culture. Put it another way, the problem isn't that we're too pro-life, is that our culture is passionately pro-death. The culture, not our conviction that all human life is sacred, must change. This is the argument. This is the attitude. This is what I believe a lot of pro-lifers who are predominantly women, I'll add that, they don't want to recognize that our culture wants this. And right now, like I said, politicians are not leaders. Politicians are merely representatives of the people. Trump won. All the other more pro-life candidates like Ron DeSantis, they lost. That's the reality. And instead of operating in that reality, no, I demand that you force this on people. No, it ain't gonna work like that. This is where I'm like a liberal here. This is where I disagree. This is my 20. When I joke around, I don't joke around, but I say 80% of the time I agree with the Republican Party. This is one of the 20% I don't agree with the Republican Party. Idealistically, I'm with you. All life is sacred. Reality, the culture is not convinced by this. The culture still thinks safe, legal, rare is the best position in America. It's up to social commentators to make the argument why it should not be the case. And politics is downstream from culture. So until you change the culture, you cannot change the politics of abortion. Sorry, not sorry. This is the truth. This is reality. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I'll be interested to hear what you guys have to say, what your guys' takes on this. Why do Democrats keep bringing up abortion? We know why they keep bringing up abortion. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I'll be interested to hear what you guys have to say. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.